And we are back for another season of What's Hockey. Keenan and I will be bringing you everything to do with hockey, not just in the NHL, but across the globe, because they be playing hockey on the other side too. Keaton, how do you feel about another season?
It's looking pretty good. The Red Wings had a pretty decent draft. Last night they had a pretty good preseason game. One of our defensemen, he's like a pretty tall guy. I believe his name is like Simon Edvinson. He's
He's a pretty tall guy.
yeah, dude. I don't know. I think he's like 6'6" or something. He's pretty big. But some dude was trying to fight him. He was just like stiff arming him and then just like put him down with one arm. It's pretty good.
Blunting
So
the beak, as you will.
yeah, he just subdued him with one arm. Didn't have to do anything. It looked like the classic depiction of like the little guy trying to like fight the guy, and he's just holding him off with one arm. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
great. So looks pretty promising.
Hey, I think that you and I should do some predictions, being that the NHL season is upon us. It's new. Both of our teams have yet to play a game. Keaton, there's 82 games in a season. What are the Red Wings going to do and why?
We're gonna make the playoffs. I'm not exactly sure of the record, but
I need a
we're
number.
gonna probably squeak in. Um, let's say about 40 wins, probably about half.
40. Oh.
So, hopefully we
Wait,
get in
wait.
there
You
and
think
make
you're going
some
to get in
things.
the playoffs at 40 and 42?
I said 40 plus wins. I don't know what you're saying.
I thought you just said straight up 40 wins. I was like, that probably is
Yeah.
not enough.
All right. I mean, there's also ties and OT losses that count. Like,
Boy.
all right. You just
Last
don't
year,
even understand how things work.
do you remember how tight the playoff race was last year?
Yeah, and
Eh,
we're gonna like subdue the opponents, the opposition. We're playing
okay.
pretty well, dog. Just chill out.
So you're saying
You're hella doubtful.
you want 45 wins?
I would say at least 50.
At least 50. All right, I'll put that down. Red
Maybe
Wings
like 75
50.
wins.
Okay, gotcha. And that's because
It could
they
be all 82. I don't know. You just
uh,
don't. You never know whenever the season starts.
got you. Is that because your youth is coming up through the ranks? You said.
What?
Oh, I thought you had
My youth?
Detroit having good players coming up.
Yeah, dog. I mean, I don't understand.
All
We
right,
also
fair
signed
enough. That's on me.
Tarasenko over the off season, so I
Oh,
mean
did
that's
y'all?
a recent Stanley Cup winner, so pretty
Uh,
easy to add to that. Patrick Kane was a heavy influence in that decision because he was just like,
mm,
"Yo, Tarasenko, you should come here," and he was like, "All right." So
Tarasenko,
now
more
he's
like
with.
Tarastinko.
All right, you don't
No,
even know.
I
But
don't.
we had a pretty decent draft. I feel like we were pretty forward heavy, which was a little bit unfortunate in my opinion. Needing or seeing that we need a goalie and a few defensemen, I would say. But overall, it was a pretty even draft. We did draft a goalie and a couple defensemen, and I think three or four forwards. So overall, I believe it was pretty all right. But we got to re-sign Lucas Raymond, pretty good. So we're retaining some pretty solid skill. Yeah, so hopefully we can get that. I believe we also signed Cam Talbot, another goalie. So not exactly sure who's going to be the starter, but I believe the starting goalie position is kind of up for grabs, and each one of them are fighting for it. So hopefully Billy Huso isn't so bad this year as opposed to last, but we'll see.
Yeah, he was boo back there. And do you also have Alex Lyons on the roster?
What? What'd you say?
Alex Lyons. Do you have Alex Lyons still?
I don't know.
Ah, okay,
Go ahead.
gotcha. I don't know. I'm just asking.
You're the one
Yeah.
that's like tripping.
I
He
know
wasn't
that.
even like a free agent.
Well, I was just
Why would
asking,
we
guy. You
get rid of
mentioned
him?
the goalie position, so I was just asking about a goalie.
Nah, dude.
That's on me.
We don't have
Anyway,
James Reimer anymore, but yeah.
oh, that's fantastic for you. Actually, he was the, I, he was the
He was the
opposite of what a goalie
best
should
goalie
be.
starting out
Reimer, but he was no.
for
But by the end
us
of the season,
for
you
our
needed
like
to
first
replace
20
him.
games. Well, yeah, but he was ass anyway.
Okay. Anyway,
All of our goalies were ass except for Lions. So
that is fair. All right. Well, I can go to the Dallas Stars. We lost Chris
can you?
Tanev, of course, in the off season. He went to Tampa Bay, I believe.
I don't think
Toronto.
so.
My fault. He went to Toronto. We got a seventh round pick out of that deal. We lose Ty Delandria, of course, but I mean he's not like a star. But losing Tanev,
Oh, he was a star. What do you mean?
well, he's no longer a star.
Yeah, he's not good
Anyway,
anymore.
our defensive lines, I'm not exactly sure what each line is going to be, but losing Tanev, that does negatively affect us defensively. I think we'll have a similar season
Oh,
to where we did last year, though, where our attacking lines are all effective. Like they can all, if it's not line one's day to day, line two, line three, line four can all get it done. Of course, we still have Ottinger in net, so I'm expecting the Dallas Stars, of course, to make the playoffs. That's nothing. I'm giving them 52 wins. Probably like, oh dang, that's kind of a lot low key because some games go to OT and then it's a loss, but you still get points. I'll give them 52 wins though, 52. And I'm predicting this year the Dallas Stars go back to the conference championship, but I don't know if they win it. Oh, it is tough, man. I swear. I wouldn't have been
it's
able to
not that
predict.
tough, dude.
I mean, come on. The
It's only 82 games, and then
the Western
postseason
Conference is
stretched out across
stacked,
3
bro.
months.
The Western Conference is stacked, man. Like there's too
Yeah,
many
dog.
good teams there, so it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be, and that's the thing too is that we need to improve defensively because offensively I think we can score with the best of them, but defensively we need some improvement to help Ottinger as well. So that aspect of the game is going to be, up in the air, and then it kind of depends on special teams too. I mean, we saw Edmonton dominate on the penalty kill and the power play, and that took them to the Stanley Cup. So I don't exactly know what to expect on that end of the ice, but you know what? If we're just average, we're decent at that. We're good. We'll be. I know you had 55. That was a lot, but I think the Dallas Stars will be approaching that as well.
What?
55 wins.
I said at least 50. Why are you saying
Yeah,
55?
I thought you
I
said
even
55
said 82, so I mean, I don't know why the fuck you're like quoting
because
me
you're
on
just
55
throwing
when I
anything
didn't
and
even say that.
everything out there, huh?
I didn't even say it, bro.
You're the worst. All right.
But hey, did you know that the Seattle Kraken hired the NHL's first female coach? You
I
probably
didn't know
didn't know
that
that.
actually. No, I didn't. Like head coach?
She's the assistant to Bilsma or Bilesma, whatever
Oh,
the fuck that guy's name is. But yeah, she's just an assistant coach, but she's a coach nonetheless.
yes. That was really
All right,
random.
no comment from the
I don't
misogynist
know
guy over
her.
here.
No, I'm sure she's fantastic at her
You
job.
can't
I
just
don't
be
know
like,
her.
let's see what comes out from her debut,
What?
boy. You can't just say that.
Let's see what comes out from her debut.
Yeah, good job, dude. Good job.
I didn't know it's an
It's,
ad. I don't know anything about her.
I mean, she's the first coach, so it's just one of those breakthrough moments. So we'll see what happens.
You think
But
there are any
yeah,
Mexican coaches across the league?
this guy.
I don't know. I was just
Probably
asking.
like 18 of them. Who knows?
18 Mexicans? Oh no, I don't
Who
know why I
knows,
even.
dog?
That's on me. That's on me.
Bro, you're discrediting a woman's first NHL debut by like, oh, let's see some Mexicans in the NHL. Who cares, bro?
I was just
There's probably a
curious.
male Mexican guy somewhere along the lines. There's never been a female coach, so
Jose
you should chill out.
Ramirez, the head coach of the Utah hockey team, which we didn't even bring
Juan
that up.
Torres.
Why is that the name of that team? Is it still
It's
the
the
Utah
hockey
hockey team?
club.
The Utah
Yeah,
Hockey Club, bro. That
yeah.
is. Are they going to stick with that?
It's
Like,
not
is that
good.
their?
I
Is
mean, for this year, probably. It's like the Washington football team
gross? Yes,
that
but that
one
was
year.
like they didn't want to be the Washington
Was
football
it one
team.
year?
I think it was like two.
Jesus.
And like they didn't want to be. That was
Couldn't
just
come up
Dan
with a name for
Snyder.
two
No, Dan
years.
Snyder was being stubborn so that everyone saw like y'all
Oh,
made me
really?
change from the Redskins, so I'm gonna be the football team, and y'all are gonna have to see it every day. Like, bro, I'm so happy they're the Commanders now because the Washington football team was disgusting, and I need Utah to pick a
Yeah.
damn team. Why are you the hockey club?
You could
You
just be
don't
the
have to
Coyotes
be.
again. It doesn't matter.
You can be anything, actually. Like, you can just be like the frozen
Utah
Frankensteins. I
Mormons.
don't care. Yes, be the morons. That's cool. Or you say Mormons?
Yeah. What do you think I
I
said?
thought you said morons.
Boy. You're like that one dude who misread the shirt. He's like, I'm a moron.
Dude, I had a friend, Ian, his gamer tag on Xbox was I am the moron. And I forgot who it was, but someone thought it was I am the Mormon. And that was amazing. And from that point on,
That's
we just called
classic.
him the Mormon.
Yeah, what a Mormon.
What a Mormon. You Mormons
So,
listening here, um, I don't know what I'm
no
going at.
offense.
No offense. None, none at all. But the Utah Hockey Club, stop it.
Yeah, pretty bad. Pretty bad.
That's awful.
Well,
Keaton, you got some. I know we normally go with a weekly prediction of what each of our teams are going to do. Uh, Pulling up the Detroit Red Wings schedule. Y'all's first game, of course, is on Thursday. We will probably record next weekend. So the games that you have to be concerned with are Detroit and the Penguins on Thursday. They got a Saturday game. Oh, man, that's it? Jesus Christ. All right. Those are the only two games before we record again. Keaton,
good job,
what
though.
are the Red Wings going to do in those two
We're gonna ball
games?
out, dog. Well, I guess
Yeah,
puck out, because it's not necessarily a ball. But yeah, dude, we're gonna go. What was it? 2 games, just 2-0, dog. We're just gonna sweep them, kill them. Do
kill
our
them.
thing. Murder on the set. It's only the Penguins' first game. That should be real easy. The Penguins are trash. Um, so yeah, and then the Preds should give us some sort of competition, but we're
You
just
think
too
they should
good,
change that name to the P. Diddy's? I mean, it's still a Predator.
That's gross.
All right, that was on the. I don't know what I'm saying right now.
He's not even from Nashville, bro.
Anyone listening, you don't need to question what's hockey. You need to question what is this podcasting? Because like I feel like I'm just saying things. Keaton, I mean, I think you're trying a little more than I am, which is good. We need that.
This
effort
guy
'cause
woke up 30 minutes ago, so yeah.
it was a long night last night.
Yeah, totally. Do you
All
know
right,
the Dean
2
Evison, the
0.
former Minnesota Wild coach, is now with Columbus, so he'll be able to pick up the broken pieces from the last in the Metropolitan Division, the Blue Jackets. They're pretty trash. So we'll see what happens. I mean, he's was it 147, 77, and 27. So it's not like the worst record overall, but don't know what he's going to do with the Blue Jackets. That seems like a broken organization. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Remind me where the Blue Jackets GM was before again.
I
I
don't
know they got a new one. Maybe it was in one of our later episodes last year, so it was probably during the
know. Yeah,
playoffs.
they got him from the Carolina
Carolina, right?
Panthers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I mean, look, I think in hockey a little tough to completely turn around in one season, but I mean, like the guy clearly built a great roster over there in Carolina, so we can see what he does over there in Columbus. The Dallas Stars this week, before we record again, are going to play the P Diddy Predators on Thursday as their home. Well, it's not even home; it's on the road in Nashville. So it
Nice.
looks like both of our
What a home
teams,
game in Nashville.
they could have played 30 other teams, and they end up playing the same team, Predators.
You're just gonna go 0-2. I mean, it doesn't.
That's exactly what I was just about to say. It seems that the Predators will go 0-2 because I am also predicting a victory over the Preds. The Dallas Stars over there in Nashville are going to sing their own country tune and get to a 1-0 start, dubbing the Predators. It's going to be interesting this year now that teams know about Stankoven, because towards the end of last year, Stankoven was such a lightning rod. But now teams have film on him, and they know what he likes to do. They know how deadly he can be, so you can't just be a little lackadaisical with him. You got to, take him on as like any other player instead of some rookie. But we'll see what he does. And then we play the Islanders.
They're trash.
I hate the Islanders. Oh, you know what? I was thinking of Edmonton for a second there. I hate that Edmonton and the Islanders have similar logos. One of them needs to change their logo from a circle to a square. Kind of an idiot sometimes. Won't lie. But I'm going to go ahead and say the Dallas Stars will be 2-0 as well. You and I are both predicting 2-0 for our teams.
We're just too good. It doesn't matter.
Or we're homers and we just say that our team's going to do good and they might not. But no. It'll be the 2-0 start for the Dallas Stars before we record again. I know that they play that Sunday as well. So I'll, of course, give you a prediction on that next week. But I hate a back-to-back game. That's always a little sketch, especially early in the season, too, because you're messing with the lines, trying to see what works. And you're also not going as hard as playoff time, too, because it's the third game of the season. So back-to-back might hinder us. But, again, I'll go into more on that next week when we record. Keaton. You and I are finally back for some hockey. This has been our first episode. You got anything you'd like to tell the good folks at home listening to us? Anything to expect or some house cleaning?
Got some nice games ahead of the season, so just ready to watch them and see what to expect. There's quite a lot of stuff that's gone on over the off season. A lot of players that used to be on other teams just aren't on those teams anymore. So, be nice to see exactly who's playing for what. And we'll see.
Oh my god, this is nuts.
Breaking Aaron Rodgers threw his third pick, so that's a pretty good day for me. So I'm happy.
This ain't the What Football podcast.
It doesn't matter, but we can just it's sports. It's relevant.
Fair enough.
Aaron Rodgers sucks, so we're good.
Okay. I will say, if you're watching this and you've made it to this point, I'm going to do better than this episode today. It's not my best effort. I did not put my best foot forward. And you mentioned a lot of players changing locations, and we didn't even touch on it at all. But you know what?
Seems like this guy's got to go because he just is trying to close out.
Oh, well, no, you know what? Go ahead. Keep going.
Sheesh, stop.
That's on me.
You know, Stan Bowman filled the empty GM position for the Oilers.
Who is Stan Bowman?
He came after the reinstation.
He did what?
It's not a word. The reinstatedness of Stan Bowman.
Oh my god, this is a nightmare.
Yeah. So their former GM his contract expired, and yeah, had to get somebody else. So do the old switcheroo with Stan Bowman.
My boy Stan Bowman.
Ken Holland used to be with the Oilers, but now it's Stan Bowman. They also ship out Cody Ceci, one of the forwards they used to have on that It seemed to be a pretty good run, but just fell short, They shipped him
Yes.
to the Sharks. They
The
got Ty
Sharks.
Emberson, a defenseman, as well as a third rounder in the 2025 draft. They also
Ooh.
got Vasily Podkolzin. Podkolzin? I don't know, dude. From the Canucks for a fourth rounder in 25. So pretty good moves there. Just general shifting and team building. This guy cannot keep straight
Oh my
face.
god. Pretty good moves there.
They're pretty good. I don't know this guy's name, but Patrick Lane is now a Canadian after the Blue Jackets get Jordan Harris in a trade.
Wow.
So Lane requested a trade and just didn't really want to be with the Blue Jackets anymore, I believe. So he's now a Canadian, which is kind of like the second worst team in the NHL. Going
Good
from
move for
one
him,
bad
huh?
team to the next. So let's see what I saw. Someone was pretty hyped that Patrick Lane was coming to the Canadians. It was probably a Canadian player. I just don't remember who it was.
Patrick Lane is pretty
But
raw too. I do like him as a player, so I mean he should bring something to the table compared to what they got.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a team sport, though. Unfortunately, you can't just win it all on your own. So,
We saw that with Connor
unfortunately, the
McDavid. Even if you're
Canadians,
Jesus on the ice, it's still not good enough.
Connor McJesus. But yeah, so pretty good, pretty good. Um, the Penguins trade Braden Yeager to the Jets for Rutger
Hey, the old Jaeger bomb.
McGroarty. What a terrible name, Rutger McGroarty. I'm sorry, but it's not a good name. But after the trade, the
Yes.
Penguins signed him for a 3-year contract. Pretty, just shuffle around, getting some good players, and
Every damn
it's just tit
shuffling,
for
you know.
tat. Tat for tat. Either way. So pretty good trade for them.
Oh,
Yaroslav Askarov, a goalie, was traded
oh
to the
my
Sharks for
guy.
David
Yeah.
Edstrom and a few other things. Magnus Krona, another goalie, and a conditional first round pick, which is kind of crazy because
Hmm.
basically, should the conditional pick be within the top 10, the Sharks have a choice to either transfer their own selection in the draft or the Golden Knights selection. Which I don't know what
Interesting.
that means, but that's basically what they said.
So they have both first round picks of those teams, and I'm guessing that whoever has the
And give
better or the
either or.
worst pick, they're gonna give the worst pick if it's
Yeah,
up to them. Huh.
yeah.
That's an interesting one. I don't
But
think I've had heard of
Askarov was
that.
the highest rated Euro goalie in the NHL Central Scouting's rankings for the 2020 draft.
That the
So,
Central Scout. Okay.
in NHL
No,
Central
I got you. I
Scouting.
got you. It seemed at
Yeah,
first I
dude.
was like, "That's so specific," but then I was like, "Okay, that's on me. That's on me. I need to chill
Yeah,
out."
dog.
All right, all right.
Yeah, it's just some great moves around the off season. That's just specifically around the off season itself, not necessarily anything else that's been happening.
Sure.
I'm sure other things like signings have happened and
Yeah.
cuts have been made, but I haven't really been closely following. Those are just some major headlines. But yeah, overall, it just seems like everyone's just kind of doing their thing, maintaining the teams. But um, there are a few teams that just kind of have been quiet, and I feel like the LA Kings are one of them. And like we've discussed from last year, it was just kind of like, what are they doing? And again, what
Right.
are they doing?
Yeah.
So
And
we'll
you
see
know
what
what?
happens.
I think this first week it clearly is only going to be 2 games, so it's not a huge sample size. But to see how these new signings, where they're going to be put on each team's lines, are they going to be up towards the top? Are
And
they going to be the third or
drafts.
fourth line? And
Who's
but
the number one overall? I forgot it. Triple. It's like with a
I
C.
don't
I forgot
know.
his
But I
name.
know like Connor Bedard going up to the NHL team as quickly as he did is very uncommon. So a lot of people drafted. I don't exactly think that they will go up, of course, to the show. The show. That's what they called the MLB shit. All right. Anyway,
I just saw the Utah Hockey Club logo. It just looked ugly, man.
bro. I'm telling you, like I'm beefing with them already just for existing. The Vegas Golden Knights
The
go to
Kings logo
Vegas
looks
and
pretty
they
sick.
have like their imaging and their branding on point very quickly. And what is Utah doing, bro?
They're just
No,
being a hockey club, dog. Chill out.
my fault. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, like we're gonna see what these new acquisitions do on their respective and new teams. And so I mean, look, it's gonna be interesting. I know that last year when the season started, I didn't even realize that Patrick Kane had gone to Detroit. What point did he go to Detroit? Was it an off-season signing and he was just out for a bit at the start, or
Yeah, last year
okay,
or the year before last, I guess. But
yeah,
yeah, ultimately we just kind of made that deal. It was like a 1 year sign off. We re-signed him this year as well. I think he probably took like some sort of pay cut just to be able to retain the team and make sure that they had some cap space to go out and get Vladimir Tarasenko, other players like that. So we even got Cam Talbot and a few other players that I haven't mentioned. But yeah, we got rid of David Perron, which in my opinion, he's kind of a liability when he was with us. So,
mm,
it's pretty good that we kind of moved on from him. We also moved on from James Primer and Shane Gossespear. So he's
ah,
going to Shane at least is going to the Canes. So at least hopefully, that kind of hurts our um, defensive side, but we did add a few other players like Eric Gustafson and William Lagerson. So,
mm.
we'll see what exactly happens. But yeah, I didn't see if we got a Mo Sider contract, but um, that should be in the works, I would assume. I mean, I can't imagine we move on from him very quickly. I mean, he's been a pretty solid player so far. But yeah, I mean, overall, we've just got to move on and see what happens.
No, yeah, for sure. They all move on and see what happens. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to everyone on the podcast too. I'm a little unprepared on this. So next week, I am promising you a better episode. You're going to see more effort. I will have headlines. I will dominate this shit. And then
Nice
Keaton,
dog.
normally
You probably won't.
our format, we go around that hockey. We kind of went around that hockey, but not officially. And so
No.
this is just a loose episode, getting back in the groove of things. Keaton and I gave you our predictions where both of us see both of our teams, the Stars and the Red Wings, making the playoffs,
I'm just
and for the week
we're
seeing them going
dominating.
2-0. So we're clearly homers. We like our team, and we're gonna say that we're gonna do good this year. Keaton, Keaton,
Do
Keaton.
well. I'm gonna say we're gonna do
Thank you.
well, but you can do good
You
somewhere else.
nerd. You nerd. All right. Keaton, you got anything for the folks to sign off?
No, just I guess see you in Detroit when we take on the Penguins.
All right. Perfect. We will catch y'all folks later. Peace out.